Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Warnie, coach of the War Dogs, and this is Drew Jones.
Coach of the Mountain Goats, special guest Max Jones in the pram this morning, Warnie. We're doing dad things today.
Nice. Where's he ranked?
He's higher than me. If he had to just put his team in round one and let it roll, he's
Probably
going
still
better
going
than
all
me, for
right.
sure.
We are at the finals time. It is round
Yeah.
21 and, finals, whatever that means for the Mountain Goats. You have some draft stuff going on, though.
Yeah, in Dynasty, I'm 21-0.
Nice.
Having an amazing year. So I just lost Callahan in that, so hopefully I can hold things together. My other draft team's going okay. Lost a couple in there as well, as we all have. The bullets flying.
Yeah, it's going to be a brutal end of the season, isn't it? That's what we're saying. Yeah.
I'm putting this out there at the front of the podcast.
Right.
I know that you've had some people contact you and say that we're not allowed to mention the other game.
Yeah, but you go all right there.
I'm putting it to you. So I was the 1,000th in Australia last weekend.
Nice work.
So I'm about 2,800.
Yeah,
ranked.
right.
Not too bad. So I
we
want
need
to work
this for the
out.
credibility. This is key.
Yeah.
We probably should reel this
I want
out.
to. I want to work out what my percentage is in terms of how high I am in that comp, and then you work out how high you are in the fantasy rankings,
Ooh.
and we can compete there. That's the only way we can compete right now.
All right. I'll have to work out the numbers. I'll see what it looks like.
I reckon you'll just be slightly ahead.
Yeah, but after this week though, geez, the Warn Dogs are.
Yeah. I also have zero trades left in Supercoach, so
Yep.
I'm at the mercy of the fantasy gods now.
All right. Well, let's see where that ends up. 4 weeks to go. This is where we are at, and we did have round 21 starting last night, of course, with the Pies and the Cats, and the Cats got the job done. 25-point winners, and we saw some decent fantasy scores out of it. With probably the big one, we'll call it Darcy Cameron as the big one because I think. In perfect worlds for a lot of people, and I don't have a perfect world, was going Rowan Marshall to Darcy Cameron, and I think he's R2 now, isn't he?
Absolutely. He's in amazing form. He's got West Coast next week. The fact that McRae named him up as sore during the week and he came out and he laid 4 tackles in about the first 5 minutes, and he looked awesome.
The game's just falling his way too. Like he's had 72 ruck contests in this game. Like we sort of saw that after that 4-week stint that I owned him, Roy owned him. We both moronically traded him, and then he's just gone on a tear.
You can't have picked this turnaround. We'll be talking about it almost every week for the rest of the year, probably because he's playing so well.
Yeah.
But ultimately. You had to be brave to pull that trade last night because there was a lot going on from a team's perspective. And for those who were steadfast and still did it, even though Marshall was named, I say well done.
Yeah, well played.
Because there was a lot going on.
The DPP would have been very, very nice for a lot of coaches. I know some had some nice triggers they were able to pull all the way through to make it work. But other names of note, so Nick obviously copped the O'Sheen tag, but got a 109, 35 touches still for him. He sort of actually fought through it. We did see and I think Cal was very quick to tweet it out because he does like to talk about Nick getting injured as such when he is copping the heat. But he was on the pine for a little bit, but then came out and dominated.
Is it a tactic? This is what I've started to think. Does he fake an injury to make the guy that's tagging him think, he's not at his best, he's sore, I don't have to go as hard on him. I'm starting to think now Nick's playing 4D chess with us.
And
it's a tactical move. But O'Sheen did a good job. He limited Nick's, Nick didn't tear the game apart in the first half when the Cats were dominating, but Nick's still just good enough to find the ball. So I think O'Sheen would look back and say, I did a reasonable job, and the Cats won the game, and that's really all that matters for them.
Nice scores there from Josh Dacos with a 117 for him, so that was good for those coaches that have probably been a little bit disappointed with him. And I even saw in those luxurious trades was an out for a lot of coaches, but they're probably able to hold on in the end. Tanner Bruin wasn't a bad replacement there if you're looking for him because of the role that he's sort of got now, and that's working with Maxi Holmes out, so he's got an 83. And then some disappointments. Dan Houston, 66, but that's probably what we expect a little bit now. Jordan DeGoey, 63. That was probably not what we wanted. And then really the one is Bailey Smith, 73. So he did not take a mark.
Yeah, tagged by Ed Allen, who's very good at what he does. It'll be hard, like, for a young player like Ed, for him to do it week in, week out for the entire season would be tough. But he's in just a little golden run at the moment where he's going to be pretty restrictive. He's got the physicality, like he's a pretty big guy for a midfielder, and he's certainly a great athlete. So he did a good job on Bailey last night, and Smith was all right. He just, you say, no marks. Like he didn't have
space to do what he wanted.
Yeah, he wasn't able to be the sicko that we are used to him being.
Yeah.
So yeah, at least. Unlike my draft team, we don't do loopholing, so you just have to put the captaincy straight on. But for most, it would have just been a VC at worst. So, yeah, we move on.
All right, let's get cracking into the games then. Friday night footy tonight over in the West. So 6:10 over there, 8:10. So a little bit later for us to get our team sorted. Hayden Young comes in for the Dockers. Corey Wagner out with a hip. And then for the Bulldogs, Vandermeer and Emmett are the ins. Norton and Waitman have both been managed for the trip out west. So that's what we're seeing there. What we are seeing from this game is probably not a lot, to be honest, with any targets or anything that we've got. You're just rolling through with whatever you got. Am I going to get another ton from my man Caleb Sarong?
Looks like the Bulldogs have selected white flag for the trip over to Perth. Just resting a couple of boys and getting ready for next week. Which is probably fair enough, to be honest. The Dockers are playing that well. So Sarong has been an amazing pickup. Is it 4 straight tons?
Yeah, it's been incredible.
Jumping on him at the right time.
Very lucky and getting my value for money there. For teams, beggars can't be choosers sometimes what you get, and it's, if you can be at least getting that when other players are up and down, it's been a good thing. But probably wouldn't recommend really jumping on him now. It's they've been low tons, so
you've missed the boat.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's not like you've been seeing some massive ones there. But yeah, Dockers are just going to keep on keeping on, I think.
What's Bont going to do here against this Freo midfield that's so strong? You know, they dropped Wagner, who is the guy that maybe could do the job, but they haven't really logged in the hard tag too much. They've just kind of backed themselves.
No,
so if Bont had a big game, I honestly wouldn't be shocked, because I think Freo are just kind of like, well, we'll just whip do our thing.
Well, and that's it. Like, you'd think that Freo are going into this just playing as they have been, and they're probably not going to sweat too much on what the Bont's going to be doing or anything there. But I guess the thing about Bont, if there is any criticism you could probably put into his game, is that he probably doesn't do the defensive things, and could the Freo midfield actually really take hold?
I agree with that. I think that you're better off having the arm across Ed Richards, to be honest, because he seems like a guy, just because of his size, that you can probably limit a little more. Like if Andy Brayshaw was standing on Ed Richards at stoppage, that wouldn't surprise me. But you're right. We're clutching here. We don't have a lot to talk about.
We
just a quick one. Is there this is what I'm starting to think about now. So fantasy finals. I'm thinking about streamers. Is there a Freo player that you like who you could just stash for your last few games who might be available in your draft leagues? Like, is it an Amos or
if you want
someone like that Kyle Warner?
Yeah.
Is there anyone?
Oh, geez, it's hard to really look, isn't it? To think about that. I've always liked a Heath Chapman, but yeah, I think it's a really tricky one, isn't it? It's just, do you just try to get one of those forwards that you might have one of those guys popping at some point?
I'll throw it out. I'll throw it out to you, because we have just gone past Geelong. Shannon Neal. I've picked up Shannon Neal in a draft league, because they've got the soft run home, the Cats, and they play Richmond in the grand final week. If you play the grand final as the last game, and Shannon Neal could kick 8 against the Richmond. He could do a rewap from 2016. He kicked 10 against Brisbane in the grand final for a lot of fantasy coaches. You just never know. So just one keep it on.
I do like that too. Timing games, although we do now have the fixture out, we can see I think that's a Saturday night game. So if you've got the opportunity to loop there still on the Saturday night, that could be a great way to be playing that one. All right, let's move into Saturday footy. And it does start at 1:05 with St Kilda and Sydney. That's at Marvel. Campbell Lake comes back in, but Rowan Marshall, after being that laid out with that drama in the last game last week, he is back in. And Dan Butler's been managed, and poor old Max King with that hammy is out. So Rowan is in, and I do love, this is your mate Ross. He's just playing some games on the team sheets. He's named Anthony Caminiti as the ruck for the game when he's got both TDK and Rowan Marshall back into the squad together.
The hammer will not be in the ruck.
No.
He's a funny man. This is a really hard one, isn't it? Like, we saw it with George Hewitt, the back spasm, and then plays the next week. So I think you just have to limit your expectations here. He's got a break even of 35, so he's not going to cost you anything cash-wise, but he's probably not going to pump out a massive score, isn't he? Which is annoying, but given the position that most people are in, you may have to roll with it. I guess the question is, for those who don't have the forced trades, do you think you just move now on Marshall?
It would be the nice thing to do, and if you're like me where he was stuck in the ruck, Darcy Cameron was the obvious one there. But with that forward status, it's about who you would be getting, though, and who you don't have. So it's a really tricky position still, because there's probably only a couple that you'd really be confident in buying into. I guess that's prioritising what else you might be doing. But obviously, I would jump if I could. Like, that would be, we said last week we'd wait and watch and see that, and that didn't do us real well. So, but now, that's another week of just getting there. And TDK was fantastic last week. I think that's the other thing that you can't sort of forget about that he was very, very good. And, if there's any need for Rowan to, look after his back up forward, that's probably what his role's going to look like, isn't it?
It's probably going to happen, let's be honest. So here's the... I want to throw the pod.
Okay,
I teased this to you last night. So obviously Errol Goulden's a big watch in this game for the Swans. But there was a man who played midfield last week who had been out of the midfield for a while and therefore had been bleeding cash. James Rowbottom.
Right.
Is under 700K. He had 18 centre bounce attendances last week. Played about 8 tackles, and I think he punched out about a 110 or 120.
Has the forward status now?
Forward status. I think he's about 695.
Yep.
And the reason my ears just pricked up because Angus Sheldrick was omitted.
Yeah.
And they didn't bring in another inside midfielder. And then, as expected, Rowbottom came in and dominated in the midfield. So what are your thoughts on cheapest chips? Paddle bump.
Yeah, I'm all in. I like that. I think there's a couple around that too, and probably in this game as well, sort of similar price-wise. Like, is it Filippo v. Rowbottom in a way? Like, could that be another way to think about it, and who would you pick out of those two?
Yeah, and I like Filippo as well. I'm in a position where I can actually trade in two forwards, as silly as that sounds.
Yeah, yep.
That's why the Rowbottom option is live for me. And I sort of feel like since I haven't really seen it mentioned anywhere and I'm probably the one on the island, maybe I should just do it because it doesn't matter anyway.
Well, it might get you inside that top 40K.
Who knows? I'm trying to chase down Calvin, who I think's given up. Roy's given up, so he might slide. You never know.
Oh, check it out.
But, I think if you're looking to trade Rowan Marshall, Rowbottom is just a bit of a pod. Like Jordan Manor I liked as a pod, but only 65 last night. That was always going to be the risk this week. But I think from now on,
he's got
Manor's pretty cheap and he's an option. But just throw it out there. Are you pro Errol here?
100%. I think you're getting him at a nice price. He's coming off a great score, and it's probably what we wanted to see. Like, we didn't see that in those couple of weeks beforehand, and those people, there were some early adopters that might have been a little bit disappointed with his output, and then got that last week. I think I'm 100%. And the Swans have a nice draw to finish the year too. Like, they've got a quite sneaky good draw, so I think that they'd be all in. And probably the other story out of this game is just where attention's going to go, because both teams deploy the tag. So Nasiah probably, he will get some form of attention, but what does that really look like?
Yeah, I mean, it just means he doesn't probably kick 4 goals, doesn't it? Yeah. So Ocean Mullen kept Nasiah to 21 disposals. And I reckon he probably had like 6 or 7 kick-ins. So that's his
a full
absolute
tag.
floor.
Yeah.
That is the floor is 21. He kicked a late goal in that game, which I think someone just handballed to him and he snapped it home. So the worst you could expect is probably a 70.
Yeah.
And Mullen is probably a 50% better tagger than anyone.
Yep.
In the comp. So he's probably still going to get a ton, even if Jordan goes to him the entire game, because you've got to take into account all those handball receives, all the kick-ins. Like, it was just getting ridiculous last week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys could actually watch the game properly. I think you were just seeing his score tick over, right?
Yeah, that's what it was like.
But there was a chain where he took the kick in, he got the handball receive from the guy he kicked it to, he ran across the ground, kicked it to someone, got the handball receive off him, kicked it down the line, kept running, eventually got it back, gave it to someone else, got it back, and then he kicked it inside 50 and someone marked it, kicked a goal. So he basically had every possession in the chain. And that was in the last 3 minutes. So my view was that they were trying to get him to the record, which Joe Montagna has 47 for St Kilda. That's the record. Maybe they were trying to get him to break it. So maybe that was a little bit of a part of it. But, yeah, if they're going to continue to basically use him like he's Tom Brady, and he has every single possession, then, he's going to go massive. He's going to go absolutely massive.
He is. All right, Hawthorn are playing against North Melbourne here at UTAS Stadium. 1:35 p.m. start for this one. Finn McGuinness is in for the Hawks with Aiden Schubert. He is there for his debut. Bloody Hawks have had, I think, 8 debutants this year, so they're on some prices for next year. Mraz out injured and Mitch Lewis injured as well. So Dawson and Blamires are in for North. Whitlock's been omitted, and so is Cooper Harvey, who has been good.
He's been good, but defensively, maybe there's a question mark there. They also have been playing about 12 halfbacks.
Yeah, that's right. That's how they're lining up.
You can't fit them all in. So Cooper Harvey going out is great for Parker owners because it's like Luke's scoring has been suffering the last few weeks.
That'll be the correlation
floating back and Harvey floating back and all those guys. So Aiden Schubert I really like. I reckon they've had to bring him in because Mraz was doing the backup ruck work last week and then gets the lacerated kidney. So I think Schubert will do like relatively low game time. But he's a goer, Schubert. It's a shame for him that Ben King's coming in because that sort of further blocks his path to the team for the Hawks, but he's one to be excited about for them.
So Finn, do you reckon he wants to come in? This is Tassie. This is here in Lonnie. So, Now Finn coming in, what do you reckon?
Finn on, I mean, it's got Sheasel written all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah. But what does Sheasel do? Like, he just gets it done regardless, doesn't he? He's got that sort of naz about him where he does push all over the ground as well. Like, you see where he gets the ball can be anywhere.
Yeah, he definitely, when Sheasel has his big games, he definitely gets a lot of disposals in the back half.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of those plus sixes, and then that's what pushes that scoring to that elite level. I'm really interested to see what happens here. And if you're in draft and Sheasel's your captain, then you've got every reason to feel a bit concerned. So hopefully Sheasel's got you into a point where you've got a double chance.
Now,
so it doesn't matter too much.
I don't love that I'm doing it, but Jarman Impey's coming in because I don't think there's many defenders that I can grab anyway. But do we just tick it? It's he's obviously come off the great fixtures and the great run, but I don't know. Like he's He's okay, yeah. I just feel so dirty doing it.
Well, I'm an Impy guy. I've got him in a couple of draft leagues. I got him in the draft league that we're in together.
Yep.
I got him in Survivor. Like his finish to last season was red hot. Like if you ordered the averages by last six at the end of last season, he finished really strong. With no aim on, there's a massive boost there for him. He was there. He's been their number one receive in terms of handballs, and then they like to fan it around the back line. That's why Battle scores so well. And so I think he's a safe pick. Just don't go into it thinking you're going to get a 140 because that's just not realistic. But yeah, I think he's solid, and he's scoring while Amon is out, which is probably going to be another 2 weeks. Is going to be pretty good.
Bit of a gap in time after this because there is the AFLW Australia and Ireland game. That's going to be pretty exciting to watch. So be locking in for that one. But 6:35 Eastern time is when Port are playing against GWS. So Lorenz and Harrison Ram are the ins. Zerk Thatcher omitted and Logan Evans out injured. And for the Giants, Kieran Briggs is back in there. So they'll be going the dual ruck setup with Delana also in, and then Finn Callahan, as we know, is out with that ankle, and Connor Stone has been omitted. I don't really know what we're looking at in this one, to be honest. Hornbag, would you be happy to buy him?
Yeah, I don't even mind him as a captaincy option this week.
Yeah.
As a bit of a unique. But yes, I would be happy to buy him. He's the guy.
Yeah.
He probably gets maybe a bit of attention from, I'm trying to remember his name, he tagged last week.
Yeah,
young guy from the Giants.
Yeah.
Angwin, yeah. I reckon Angwin, they'll give Angwin a crack. I actually don't mind Angwin as a draft.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Just to pick up this week. Don't play him just with the tag flag. But all their midfielders are out.
Yeah.
But who's playing?
Well, that's
in the midfield.
They've named up Cogs in the guts with Harry Ralston and then obviously Clary.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a different looking midfield makeup than what we have seen. So yeah,
so
good.
It's worth a little look.
Yeah. So yeah, you're still probably happy to buy into either Whitfield or Ash. Should be a decent matchup for them with that as well. So if you don't have them, they'd be really right up the top of your targets, I would say, for defenders at good prices as well.
Must-win game for GWS. Like they just have to win this to at least keep the season alive. Port Adelaide a bit done.
Yep.
I think they've been great this year, but the last couple of weeks there's been a few signs that they're just tiring. Injuries are taking a bit of a toll, and you can understand why that would be the case. So
I guess our Ash Flag might be that midfield clock because he's had to be deployed in there when they've needed him, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yep. The other Saturday night game is Carlton and Brisbane. Harry Mackay is back in. Nick Newman with that hammy is out. The Lions have 3 changes with Ty Gallop suspended. Zorko's been managed. Didn't see that coming. And James Tunstall has been omitted. So Kitty Coleman comes in with Oscar Allen and Bruce Revell. So, yeah, Zorko, he was actually in my side until 6:20 yesterday.
How frustrating. And for every draft owner of Zorko who's carried him through this year of injuries and management and all that crap, for him to tease us with a 130 last week and then go back out of the side.
The story of the year, isn't it? It's just nuts. So,
So frustrating.
But I guess...
I loved him as an option this week.
Yeah.
But I just don't think next week you could risk it.
No, but then is it that thing that now he's actually got that rest? This was his rest, so then does he go through the next 3? Oh man, it sucks. This game really, really sucks. Why do we bother? Okay, human cluggage. Could you?
No, not in any lifetime.
You wouldn't even do it with your team.
No, because I have some self-respect.
He's content for next year, though, because he's cheap.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have him next year. Absolutely. For the most part, as you know, the slate gets wiped clean.
Every man has his price on the never again list.
If I'm being told he's had a full pre-season, then
and Lockie Neal goes.
Yeah, he's straight in.
Pieces of the puzzle. Yep. Will Ashcroft could be a good captain option this week as well, I reckon, against the Blues there under the roof. So would be a very fun one. Sunday footy, these teams get trimmed at 5 p.m. Friday. So Richmond and West Coast is the first one, 1:10 p.m. Ryan Mansell's out injured. Samson Ryan, Steely Green, Judson Clark, Ben Miller come in for the Tigers. And for the Eagles, Franco, who has been great, he's out with his cut knee. Had his little plastic surgery going on there for that, so he's going to be missing. Jack Graham, Duff Tytler, Matt Flynn and Tom Gross come into the squad. Your Eagles, will they win it?
When they say, the Eagles should win this game. When they say plastic surgery, does that mean that they've had to take skin from somewhere else to do a graft? Because that gash was
brutal,
like, aggressive. Yeah, it was really deep. I wonder if they've had to go a bit of skin from somewhere and patch it all together. Who knows? But that wouldn't have been pleasant for him. But it's not too bad. I think they said he's going to be back in 2 to 3, so he's okay.
Cool. Yep.
And he has been good. Nothing to talk about in this game except, of course, the fact that Taranto is in top 10 captains, which is
I can't believe that.
Amazing.
Is he just doing that to bait me, do you think? But, geez.
I think so.
This is the score that I need from him. I need a big score. This would just put a nice little bow on things.
I'm putting it out there, warning. I think Taranto starts hot. And I reckon he could be on 60 in the second quarter.
Yep.
And then
it's a 95.
McQualter will go, all right, I'll just stick off on him at stoppage.
Yeah.
Or do something like that. Because he's done that a few times this year.
Yeah.
He's come out real hot.
100%.
I've got him in draft. Yeah. And he'll lay like 4 or 5 tackles early, be on like 12 possessions in the second quarter, and then he ends up just doing like a very military medium sort of 90 and slows down.
Never out of the question to have 40-odd at the first break, and then, ends up with a 90.
But anyway. I think Bailey Williams is just the other one in terms of, like, if you're scraping the barrel, if you didn't go Darcy Cameron last night and you need a Marshall replacement, I think his run coming up isn't too bad.
Yep.
Darcy Cameron usually concedes against the big ruck, so that's next week, and then Nat Curvis always concedes points as well, so he could have a couple of good weeks.
That would be the one. Otherwise, there's probably not much there. What about our man Banksy? 90 last week.
I think I'm going to take the 90 and just omit him to the bench this week.
Yep.
I think, now once you've got that one good score, let's not push it too far. But I like Hugo Hall-Kahan against Essendon a little better, so that's why I've benched him. But and then I think Herbert, you play him with confidence. Yep. That role looks pristine. He was awesome last week.
Just gets it too, doesn't he? Like that, and he works hard. I think he's just a nice fantasy footballer. These mid-season draftees, it's good.
Eagles got a good one there. Yeah.
Ooh, got Gold Coast and Melbourne. They're playing on the Gold Coast, People First Stadium, and so Caleb Lewis has been omitted by the Suns. Farah, Closey, Rogers and Ethan Reid come in. Now, the Ds have a few changes. Lucas Cook's been omitted. Injuries for Chandler and Latrell Pickett. So, into the squad. So, we've got Christian Salem coming back in. Caleb Windsor, CJ, Melksham, Xavier Taylor and Max Heath into the squad there. Hopefully, Maxie Heath just goes, I'll just be an emergency this week for us. But, this will be interesting. Have we got any faith in a revenge game score from Christian Petracca?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yep.
I think he's been a little better the last probably 3 weeks, but his issue, as I flagged in the preseason, is that his kick-to-handball ratio is shocking. So that's stopping him from getting those big scores. So, I think ultimately the first 4 to 5 weeks were an anomaly, and this is what Petracca is.
Yep.
But I don't see him. He's not going to put out a stinker this week. I think against the old team, he'll be locked in. After what happened with Lombard, I think he'll be locked in. Those intangibles, I think, all add up to a decent game for him. I still think Gold Coast will lose. And probably lose pretty convincingly.
Are you happy for me to buy John Noble?
No, I'm not.
No?
I think you're buying into a roller coaster.
Yeah. It's shown that, hasn't it? The D's matchup should be a good one, though, or it has been for those halfbacks. Am I better to go with my man Jake Bowie?
Yeah, I would prefer Bowie, but Salem's back as well.
Yeah,
so
that's an issue. Yeah.
There's issues with everything.
Yeah, 100%.
There's not one answer that you're like, yep, that's good.
Yep. It really.
What about Bodie Hewlin?
Oh, jeez, I don't think I could do it, but he's solid. He pops up a lot. Like when you're watching him, he's just there, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, man, the Suns, they're just in a bit of trouble in themselves. But yeah, who do you actually tip in this game? Do you think the Suns will break the streak?
No, I'm all in on Melbourne.
Yep.
Melbourne wins.
Yep. All right.
Suns don't want to win.
No. Dimmer he might be playing 4D chess with this, and hopefully they can bounce them back for next year. Let's look at the last game of the round, or let's not look at it. It's Essendon and Adelaide. This might be a little bit ugly. Bombers have 5 outs already here, and they've said goodbye omissions to Nick Cox, Ben Mackay, my man Lockie Blackiston after a career high 72 last week. Sully Roby's out injured, and so is Jordan Ridley. So into the squad for them, Unwin, Visentini, Sardis, Langford, Jones, Perkins, Bryan, Zach Johnson. So there's some waiver hit-ups, I reckon, for draft if you were needing something, but it's Bombers and they won't score. So that's an issue in that itself. But then the biggest news of the selection for a lot of coaches was the most popular, or was he the most? I can't remember. I think he was in the end last week. Wayne Miller traded in, and he's out with that hamstring that he picked up at training. There was the talk about the calf during the week and out of that game last week. So he will be missing. We'll see if the GOAT fantasy can get us some news. But Berry's also out injured. So is Peatling, and Finbar has been omitted. Coming in, we have confirmed debutants of Oscar Ryan and Archie Ludowijk. I reckon that's it.
Ludovic, yep.
Ludovic. And then coming in is Mark Keane, so he's probably that real replacement there for Wayne. And Cookie, he's there. Archie, Shoal and Dowling come into the squad as well. This could be a bloody ugly game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Essendon showed last week against Hawthorn that they haven't got much left in the tank.
Yep.
From a competitive perspective, they'd probably... Maybe the GWS game was like their last hurrah. But yeah, the sad thing about this is that this was like a 130 for Miller. Like it was a slam dunk big game.
It was all part of the process of getting him.
Yeah, it all made sense. Obviously, they've got Richmond next week as well, and Adelaide players were always going to be high on our shopping list. So yeah, I'll see if I can glean a bit more information today. Whether it's sort of awareness and it's just a very precautionary move, or whether he's actually done it and he's going through scans and all that. But I've got no doubt that Aaron Bryans will be on this, because now that you're throwing his name around, he's going to be like a dog with a bone here, Aaron. Yeah. He's going to be all over this.
I think he's keen for some votes.
Well, I mean, absolutely. As soon as he would have got wind of the Miller stuff, at 5 to 6, he could send that text straight out and find out what's wrong. Whereas I'm sort of stuck on AFL Tonight, so I can't do anything. I'm a bit hamstrung.
This sounds like Calvin, self-handicapping here.
Well, I think Aaron could see that this was the perfect
the opportunity.
This is the perfect crossover between something that's actual news and also fantasy news at the same time. So it gives you a reason to go hard for it. He's very good at what he does, and he's clearly a much better coach than me.
Yeah, he's doing well.
So I'm happy to concede. He got the better of me.
I will say he was sitting in the top 100, has slid out to 5K or so, I think it was. So he has.
Right. Okay.
That factors into some of the votes as well. You've got to think about that. You had a hat in your grasp, and then you've said goodbye. Anyway, we'll see how that all ends up. But I think the other one out of this game is that I think he can be rolling into Jordan Dawson as a pretty safe captain as well. Okay,
that's interesting. Do you think? Will the Bombers bother with a hard tag here?
Can they do it? I don't know. That's the thing.
I reckon Durham's the perfect physical specimen for it.
Yeah.
But has Durham lost a few of his CBAs with Merritt and Sharp and those guys getting a bit more time in there?
Merritt's obviously, he's back into that being his primary thing, and Sharp was excellent too. Like, he was really, really good, and they probably want that. But then I suppose, losing Sully Roby is another factor in that one as well for this week. True. Yeah, I think that Durham will be in the guts, but geez, are they in a position where they can even be sacrificing players for actually getting the ball? That's a thing at the moment. It's going to be pretty brutal under the lid.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. That would be my view.
Big unit. He'll take plenty of marks. He'll do his thing. All right, well, there we are. Round 21. It's our first week of finals, and you are going to be shopping in the forward line then, do you reckon? Have you locked it in, or are you still going to be thinking across the day?
Well, I might have a little look at what happens with Roll Marshall when the teams come out tomorrow. But I'm hoping to get Rankin, who we didn't really talk about there, but I think he's a pretty safe. He's a safe guy this week. And then Rowbottom is sitting in my team at the moment.
Yep. Do you have to shop in that sort of priced area? Is that part of it, or are you just like the value of it?
The option would be bring in like a rookie and bank some cash, or bring in like a mid, sort of a mid pricer, which Rowbottom would be. So there's arguments for and against both, but.
We're in the last few overs. We're swinging and hitting now. We've got to you've got to have a bit of a crack. You can't just be dot balls getting your cash for the next week. It's got to be at least getting 2 runs at least off this.
I think Rowbottom at the moment is like he's a half volley outside off stump, and I've seen it there, and I don't know if I want to just leave it through to the keeper and watch it, or if I just want to have a crack at it. Maybe I will nick it. Maybe,
and you know how many times you have nicked it in the past as well. That's the issue.
So eventually one's going to come out in the middle.
Oh, well, see, what sort of bat would you be using for this one, do you reckon? Would it be something nice and big, or is it a flimsy little toothpick?
No. I'm a Kookaburra guy.
Yep. What did you rock with? What was your Kookaburra of choice?
First bat was a V100, nice. Which Dad got me because I was a big Mark War guy. And then I was Grey Nicks, and then eventually Kookaburra Kahuna when I was a bit older.
Kahuna, yep. I was a Ridgeback, Ricky Ponting. That was where I was, which that was toothpick thin, but I couldn't use it very well anyway. So, all good. Thanks, Drew Jones. You are a legend. We'll be following everything at Goat Fantasy News to make sure that we're across anything that we need to know because, well, this is the final 4 rounds and it is finals time, and it is where things are going to happen and things may not happen to plan. So we will be across it all.
Yeah, dig in. 4 weeks to go.